Welcome to our Buffs recap here on 850KOA.com. The Colorado Buffaloes that are John Embry now 0-2 as they fall in overtime, and their home opener here at Folsom Field. A gorgeous afternoon in the Front Range, 36-33. Larry Zimmer, Mark Johnson. Partner, second verse, same as the first. A lot of the things we talked about last week in Hawaii, we can talk about this week. The Buffaloes did more damage to themselves sometimes than the opposition does.
But let me say this. For the folks who were here, for the folks who were listening or watching on TV, heck of a football game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a very entertaining game. Colorado was never out of it. I really honestly thought they had the shot to win when they were driving down in regulation. They had a 3rd and 1. They failed to pick up the first down on 3rd down by going outside. So then they had to kick the field goal. You get a true freshman going up there. I mean, his heart had to be beaten, and he rips it right down the middle. So you go into overtime, and the first 2 runs, they're down inside the 5-yard line.
Right.
And then they have to settle for a field goal. And, that's where the game is lost. Defensively in the overtime, all the way back to the 35 on successive penalties.
Yeah, first and 30 from the 35 for the Cal Bears.
For Cal Bears.
Yeah.
But then they complete a long pass down inside the 5, and then they go ahead to win. Yep. But even though you focus on the end of the game, you got to remember what happened in the first half. There were a lot of penalties on the defense of Colorado. Procedure penalties on the offense, and Colorado's got to get that out of their system.
They've got to get that out of their system, and if they're going to be a team that runs the football, and that's been the mantra we've heard for the entire really few months of the Embry era, you've got to get 3rd down and 1. You've got to be able to pick up a yard if you're a running football team.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you've got to get more than 100 yards rushing. I don't know whether the final stats show it, but they had 2 big runs in the overtime.
Yeah, a 9 and a 12-yarder by Rodney Stewart.
Right up the middle. But up to then, those are the longest runs of the game from scrimmage.
Yeah.
So Rodney's got to gain more. I don't know whether it's the offensive line. That's for the coaches to figure out when they look at the tape. But nevertheless, they've got to get the running game going if they're going to be successful.
A couple of numbers. Buffaloes did have 582 yards of offense. Boy, you get almost 600 yards you expect to win. Tyler Hansen, record 474 yards passing. The real star of this game was Paul Richardson. He is becoming a star at this level. Hit 11 catches for 272 yards. That's a school record and a couple of touchdowns. If you're looking for playmakers, we know about Speedy Stewart. Paul Richardson's become one.
I agree with you. He's got the ability to be a superstar. I know you and I felt that. A lot of people felt that last year, and he's beginning to show it right now. He will be a marked man, which in a way is good. If you double team a guy, like in basketball, that leaves somebody's got to be open.
Yeah.
So it's up to Hansen to find that guy. But I think that Paul Richardson's going to get a lot more attention in future weeks. Frankly, I think he's good enough it won't matter. I think he can still go get the ball.
Yeah, he's a next level kind of talent. Next up for the Colorado Buffaloes is the Rocky Mountain Showdown presented by Cinch Jeans next Saturday at Sports Authority Field at Mile High. The Rams come in feeling good. They're riding high at 2-0. The Buffs at 0-2. And as John Embry said in our postgame on the radio, the Rams aren't feeling sorry for Colorado right now.
No, nobody's feeling sorry for Colorado except you and me and maybe some Colorado fans, and the team itself. So, but yeah. I can't wait for next week. I think it's going to be a great football game, and Colorado's got to go out there and play a game.
We will hit the air on our flagship 850 KOA at 9:05 with the Buffalo Stampede, a little elongated show. Our network affiliates at 10:05. And then the Cinch Jeans Rocky Mountain Showdown gets underway at 11:30. The Buffs and Rams at Sports Authority Field. Should be fun.
You're going to call me and wake me up?
Well, I don't think I'll have to. I think Zim will wake up just fine that morning. Loving those games. Great rivalry. For Larry Zimmer, I'm Mark Johnson. Colorado falls to 0-2. 36-33. The Buffs fall in overtime to the Cal Bears. And we thank you for joining us on our Buffs recap here on 850KOA.com.